If it says Ultra, it needs to be the best, right? Well, I don't know, but I need to find out. For the next couple days, I'm going to be testing Samsung's first ever Ultra phone, which dropped 5 years ago with 8K video, 108 megapixel camera, and 100 times zoom. Basically, Samsung went all out and put every single spec they could think of. It used to cost more than my rent, and now it costs as much as a Ninja air fryer. So here are my objectives. Step 1, I'm gonna test all of its craziest features that Samsung advertised. It's not very usable. Step 2, I'm gonna compare it to my 2024 Peasant flagship to see if this phone even feels Ultra anymore. And step 3, we're gonna figure out what went wrong with this first Ultra phone. Let's start with the biggest claim of them all, 100 times zoom. I wanted to see what 100 times zoom would actually look like from 5 years ago. So I went outside, believe it or not, and found these random buildings that someone placed, and I whipped out my 6.9 inch phone. So let's try to zoom on the S20 Ultra and the OnePlus 12. Here's my little camera, say hello. But that's not the focus. The focus is the building. So which building should we choose? I picked that one. Whoa. So this is the ultra wide. This is the 5 times zoom, 18 times. Whoa, it's shaky. 70 times. This is 100x zoom. We take a picture. We got the picture. And you can actually see what the sign says. But let's do the same thing on my OnePlus 12. The same test on a OnePlus 12, and this is a little bit different because the camera switches at 3x. So everything up until then looks pixelated, and then boom, switches to the telephoto lens. But anyway, if we look at the same buildings, it is way smoother to hold the phone. It doesn't jump up and down as much as the S20 Ultra did. And then if you zoom in all the way to the... It's just as shaky, but it goes up to 120 times zoom. And if we take the picture, it's not very usable. Come on, that's very close. I actually don't know which one I prefer. They both look pretty bad, but kind of usable. But back then, this was Samsung's biggest flex. Or was it just a flex? Well, let's see if we can actually take a usable picture. I walked around the park looking for something to zoom into, and then I met someone. What's up, man? How you doing?
How you doing?
Yeah, that was me. And then I got a couple of super zoomed in shots, and they looked very meh. But they're not any better on the OnePlus 12. Like, what the hell even is this? It's like the most AI generated looking image I've ever seen. But it wasn't just all about the zoom, it was also about detail. Now if you look side by side, one of these is 12 megapixels and the other one is 108. Can you tell the difference? Technically, yeah, but is it worth the extra second or two to process the image and like 5 times the file size? Not really. You know what, I was supposed to crap all over this phone, but I kind of like it. I think we should slow down a little bit and look at the design. Cause really, that's your most premium looking device? Why does it look like the budget A21s? This straight up looks like a default skin. Also, why do I keep on getting phones with screen burn-in? Like, look at this. Why is it so bad? But this thing has a huge bulge for a reason. This massive ass sensor, one of them, is capable of recording 8K video, which is just a higher number. It doesn't really mean anything. Okay, I guess let me test it. The first impressions is that it's cropped in very heavily and there's a lot of rolling shutter. So if I move the camera around, there's so much jello effect. And some of it gets fixed when you save the video, but in the preview it looks terrible. And that 1 minute video was 500
100 megabytes.
Bruh, both of these phones look disgusting in 8K. I don't think much has been improved. I actually don't understand what's the point of this. They both look like a crayon drawing, both have exposure issues, color issues, massive file sizes. And then you take it to low light and it gets even worse. I'm gonna show you the 8K footage from Samsung because if you pay for 8K, you might as well use it. And what an interesting discovery. Wait, does that mean I have to go outside again? So, here we are again. I could probably tell someone this was shot on like an old vintage camera, and you know what, this could probably pass for like an old camcorder. The low light photos can look as good, but if you look at the process, on the OnePlus you press the button, wait 2 seconds and boom, it's already done. But on a Samsung the preview looks awful, and then when you press the button you have to lock in for 7 seconds and then wait at least another 5 seconds for it to actually load. But look what happened when I tried vlogging my dinner in 8K. This looks like my great-granddad making his lunch during World War II, just before he was about to walk into the trenches. And then the dining room looks like I just woke up in a dark hallway in a castle, recovering from amnesia.
Shadow hunting me. I must hurry.
When this phone came out, Marquez said that this phone had focusing issues, so
Autofocus on this phone for me has been unusually jumpy and kind of unpredictable, and actually missed focus a few times.
I wanted to test it myself. And I guess it wasn't as bad as I thought. Anyway, I also checked Reddit and some people said that the camera issues were fixed, and some said it was still trash. So I don't know what's going on, but what I do know is that this phone's processor has 2 variants, the Exynos, which is the global version, and the Snapdragon, which is the US only version. And Mr. Who's the Boss made a video explaining how the Exynos version is so much worse, saying that it overheats, but day-to-day use, I didn't care. This thing is fine. I even ran a couple of benchmarks on it and it got a little bit warm, but bruh, I don't care. And the haptics on this thing are crazy. So if I just type something, and then the spacebar, and it's not one of those cheap PS3 controller brr sound effects. It's like, it sounds like I'm tapping on like a school bus window. And then if I put it on the table, I'm lightly tapping on it. So then I was just really confused. Does this mean that the S20 Ultra camera is still good? Or is the OnePlus 12 just kinda sucky? I think it's a bit of both. This phone is not bad at all. And the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, wow. Okay, watch this. Unlocked. Like, it's instant. And on my OnePlus 12, like, it's fine, but like I can't just do this, right? I can't tap it, I have to actually hold it. But then this phone. Now, what I don't understand is why would they limit the software support on this phone? Bro, that's the wrong phone. It launched with Android 10 and it only went up to Android 13. That's 3 updates. That's it. But when I tested the iPhone XS, which is from over 6 years ago, that still had the latest iOS version. It's such a usable phone and they already left it behind. Now to answer the question, does it still feel ultra? Kinda. We still haven't really gone above these specs. Phones don't really zoom past 100x, even though the zoom camera phones have improved quite a lot recently. For example, look at the Oppo Find X8 Ultra or the Vivo X200 Ultra. Those phones have monster cameras. But if you look at the S25 Ultra, apart from the design and the processor, not much has changed. But because this is the least polished Ultra phone with some minor problems, no one really wants this thing anymore. But if you do find one for like 150 like I did, just buy it. Because it still feels like you're getting an Ultra phone for the price of a mid-ranger. Crazy.